Hey, what's up, everyone? Unfortunately, we had an intro planned for this, but unfortunately, we couldn't get it in time. But as you can tell by the title, finally, after so many delays of doing this, or several delays, we're finally doing, and we're beating Brody to the punch, Black Sabbath Part 2. Sorry, Brody, but
Yep.
we beat you to it. We beat you to it in this one. But yes, part two. Obviously, this is, as you can tell by the title, Heaven and Hell to 13. And yes, I did say we were also including, it does include the one album when they were called Heaven and Hell. So that is being included in here. So with all of that, that's 12 total in this one. Normally it would be 11, but we're including the Heaven and Hell one. I tried to see if we can include the Iomi solo ones, but unfortunately, we just stuck to the one Heaven and Hell album, unfortunately. But there may be a time where we'll talk about the Iomi solo albums when we get to them. But for now, this is Heaven and Hell, the album all the way to 13, includes the album when they were called Heaven and Hell. But yes, I am with Ben, who was with me for part one, which was the Classic 8. And I believe we also have, he's only here for a few of the albums, aka the first three in this. He might show up for the Heaven and Hell album. I don't know. We will see if he does want to be in that. Um, but yes, we got for just these first three albums, we got Me Metal Mike.
All right.
Yes,
Me Macho Mike.
yes. So with all that, Mike, You weren't in it for all of the Sabbath for part one, were you? Or was it just me and Ben? No. Okay,
No,
well, in this case,
I honestly
we
don't
start
remember.
obviously since you're here for just these first few, and you weren't with us for part one. Um, obviously, normally we would have this in part one, but because you weren't in it, Mike, tell us how you got into Black Sabbath.
Uh, well, probably during college. No, yeah, right after high school, college. After like being addicted to AC/DC and stuff, I kind of just started following Black Sabbath right afterwards and fell in love with it ever since. Personally, I prefer the Dio stuff and some of the Ozzy stuff. That's how I got into Sabbath. So, but my my favorite record of all time is Volume 4. So that's how I got into Sabbath. I heard Volume 4 first, by the way. So that's how I got into Sabbath. I heard Volume 4.
Yep. Alrighty, well that was brief and stuff. So let's get into how all this happened. So obviously we pick up right where we left off in part one with, let's just say, I will just go out and say it is the worst Sabbath album of all time. Never Say Die. I'm gonna spoil that for me when we get to the ranking. But because of that disaster of an album, Ozzy Osbourne got fired
Well, I love
from
that
Black
album.
Sabbath. Um, then he went on to obviously, start over and you have a solo career, have Randy Rhoads and all that, and the rest is history. On the Sabbath end of things, they went through trying to get some different vocalists, to which future Mrs. Osborne, Sharon at the time Arden, but like I said, she would be Sharon Osbourne, would suggest Dio to the band. Um, Also, a keyboardist by the name of Jeff Nichols also joins the band, and this would culminate in an album that would be released on April 18th of 1980, and in some case be like their self-titled debut, because they would later on, like I mentioned, they would later change their name to Heaven and Hell. Obviously, Heaven and Hell. So, Ben,
Here we
you
go.
start us off.
Heaven and Hell. Boy, oh boy. You talk about a band that pretty much reinvented itself, you know. So, yeah, man, let's get into the album. Got 8 tracks, you know.
Yep.
Neon Nights begins things right away. This feels like a new, rejuvenated Black Sabbath.
Oh
You hear
hell yeah.
Dio, you hear Dio come in with that magical, mystical type of vocal style and delivery, you know. And man, you talk about a great intro to this album. fairly fast-paced track. Some really, really good Iommi solos on this track. Notably, too, you're going to notice like Tony Iommi, to me, when it comes to like his lead solos, definitely really stepped it up because he's playing some great leads on this album. So yeah, Neon Night's really good intro to this record to me. One of the best tracks easily on this record, and a great introduction to Ronnie James Dio being in Black Sabbath. So then you got Children of the Sea track 2, a little bit more of a mellow track. Now, there's a rumor that has been going around for a while that apparently there's a demo version of this with Ozzy on vocals. I don't know how true that is. Only Tony Iommi knows if that actually exists. That could just be rumors because I cannot picture Ozzy even singing this song. Again, this has like a dark, very mystical feel to it. Such a great song. The melodies in this track are great. Dio's vocal delivery is just amazing. Really great song. Lady Evil. Okay, so this track, now a lot of people would probably call this one a filler track. I could probably see why, it's more of a mid-paced, kind of more of a hard rock track if we're being honest. But I still really enjoy the track. Yeah, it kind of has more of a rainbow feel, I guess, as opposed to like, what the first two tracks sound like. But I think it's good. But then we get to the epic, one of the great epics on the record, the title track, Heaven and Hell. Holy Christ, the song's amazing. You get those big Tony Iommi riffs. You get that nice bass line by Geezer Butler in there, And Dio's just powerful vocals behind this. Just amazing stuff. And some of Tony Iommi's best guitar work, absolutely. Come on, it's Heaven and Hell, man. Very iconic. Wishing Well to begin the next part of this album. This one's kind of a deep cut, too. I actually really like this track. I think it's a really good deep cut. I'm not sure if they ever played this live back then. I enjoyed it. Kind of has like a more of a hard rock type of sound to it again, too. But man, there's some pretty good Tony Iommi leads on this. Then you get Die Young. Holy cow, this track rules. Just pure heavy metal. Man, Dio's vocals on this are like magic. That midsection with that keyboard part by Jeff Nichols is freaking amazing. It's weird because that part of the song almost has like a Queen-like vibe to it. Really, really good track indeed. Just great stuff by Tony Iommi. All right, man, if I was going to pick a filler track on this album, it would definitely be Walk Away. Not that it's a bad song, but to me, the song doesn't really fit the album. Now, this one definitely sounds like it could be more of a rainbow song. I mean, it's not bad, but, it's just kind of there to me. But then you end it with Lonely Is the Word. What a powerful way to end this first album. Kind of bluesy. But man, I think these are some of Tony Iommi's best guitar leads he ever laid down on tape. Just amazing stuff. Very epic. Yeah, man, this is such an awesome album. And definitely a brand new beginning for Black Sabbath because Black Sabbath was almost completely dead before they got Ronnie James Dio. Okay, so
Score. What would you give it score-wise?
Okay, score-wise, I'm sorry, there's hammering going on downstairs. I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Score-wise, I would easily give this, man, I'm going to say a 9.8 out of 10.
Oh,
Close to a 10 out of 10. It's just the track, Walk Away just feels kind of odd on this record. Not that it's a bad song, but it just feels like it doesn't really fit the album.
All right, fair enough. Mean Metal Mike, your turn, man.
Well, this album fucking kicks ass, man. Love Heaven and Hell. Love Ronnie James Dio. Um, Heaven and Hell is a great album. You know, you got okay. You kick it off with Neon Nights. Bill Ward just pounding away on the drums on that song. Great stuff. Children of the Sea, which was the first recorded song by the band at that time with Dio. That was the first song they went into the studio with and jammed that. Children of the Sea, great song. Lady Evil, I like it. Great little song. The epic Heaven and Hell. Just great song. Great drumming from Bill Ward on that song. Geezer Butler's great on that. Tony Iommi's great on that, especially Ronnie. We go to side B, Wishing Well. It's an okay song. Then we got Die Young. Great epic song. And I agree with Metal Ben. I think Walk Away kind of has like a rainbow. I would even say like an elf rainbow type of feel to Walk Away. And then you end it with Lonely is the Word. Um, like I said, great album. Just especially Bill Ward's strumming on this album is fantastic, I think. Um, so I give this album a solid 9.9 out of 10. Great stuff.
Yeah, obviously. I'm kind of the owler because it gets a little bit better. But yeah, everything y'all had said about some of those. Obviously, I think for me, I have to top y'all. I have to one up y'all in some way. Obviously, like I said, a musical breath of fresh air. Everything y'all said about these Neon Nights, Children of the Sea is probably my favorite. The title track, Lady Evil, everything. I love her. Ironically, I do. I even love Walk Away. I absolutely love that track. Um, because of that, everything. There's no weak song for me. So I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Freaking, freaking love it. It is worthy of being a 10 out of 10 easily. Yeah, I just absolutely love this album. All the songs on here. Yeah, freaking love it. Love it. But obviously, yeah, this would be it, like you said, Bill Ward is on this. But he would temporarily leave and would be replaced by Vinny Appice. And we get the Mob Rules.
I want to talk about the drumming on Heaven and Hell real quick. I forgot to mention that.
Go ahead.
Now there's a rumor going around that Bill Ward did not play on that album. Now this is just a rumor. Nobody can prove that. I mean, the drumming does sound weird on the album. It doesn't really sound like Bill Ward to me on the album. Because I'm saying, well, I mentioned this because Bill Ward's playing more like he's kind of playing more in the pocket on Heaven and Hell. He's not doing like all those crazy fancy fills like he does on the other Sabbath albums for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, Bill Ward has stated too he does not remember recording the album because he was so messed up on alcohol and drugs at the time. So I believe it's Bill Ward until somebody can really prove it's not.
Yep. We're moving on to the Mob Rules.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And if you thought Heaven and Hell is perfect, my God, this is woo, man. Ben, take it away.
All right, we're gonna get into this, man, because this is the follow-up, obviously, to the legendary Heaven and Hell. Now, this one to me is a straight-up heavy metal Black Sabbath album. We're gonna get into the tracks here. I gotta freaking look it up though because it's very hard to read these tracks on the back of the CD. Even though I'm pretty sure I got them memorized in order, but I want to be, safe. I mean, obviously, the opening track is, we'll get to that here in a minute. Turn Up the Night. Yeah, Turn Up the Night's the opening track. Quintessentially, it's Neon Nights Part 2, a fast, energetic opener to the album. Not really going to say much about it because it is quintessentially Neon Nights Part 2.
Yeah.
But it's a good, fast, energetic opener. I like it, And then the next track, oh man, the next track just fucking kicks ass. Voodoo. You talk about a kick-ass heavy metal track. Just bear with me here. Okay.
Yeah, but then we got. Yeah, but obviously, yeah, you said Voodoo. Then we get to probably the best trilogy. I feel like this is a great trilogy of songs from Sabbath.
The Sign of the Southern Cross. This song rules. Now this could be Heaven and Hell Part 2.
Or it could be Children of the Sea Part 2. It could be either or it's a combination of both, maybe. Because I love how this song. Man, oh my god.
I love this song. It's got that freaking awesome acoustic build-up. That's very dark. And then it just comes into these crushing, slow, doomy riffs. Some of the best Tony Iommi stuff that's ever been written, in my opinion. Oh my god, and freaking Ronnie's voice on this track. Holy Christ, it's so freaking epic.
Yeah.
God damn, this song kicks ass. Alright, so then we got just a little instrumental E5 black. Yeah,
E51, E5150, pretty much.
Yeah, E5150.
And then you get into, I mean, come on, the title.
The Mob Rules.
Man. Which, fun fact, later on, it would be in be a part of a soundtrack for a video game. I think it was Spider-Man Maximum Carnage, I believe. And then with 16-bitted and stuff like that. Really freaking cool.
And it was on the heavy metal soundtrack that came out in 1981, that animated.
Yeah.
Now that version of Neon Knights, the Mob Rules is different. It's different compared to the album version. I'm not sure which version I like the best. But god damn, this song kicks ass. You talk about just the genius of the heavy metal song. Man. Yeah. Fucking Tony Iommi, the whole band's firing on all cylinders on this track.
And even Vinny, his debut, pretty much in Sabbath.
Absolutely, yeah. So then we get Country Girl. I fucking love this song. Yeah, it's a deep
cut. It's like an interesting song. I'm like, you go from the Sign of the Southern Cross and then E5150 Mob Rules, and you get to, what am I here? Like, it's like, what?
Yeah, it does seem kind of odd, like, but I think it's a good song. I mean, you know. Then you got Slipping Away. Slipping Away kicks ass. I love this song, too. Just another great song. Oh my god, we get another brilliant epic on this album. One of the most underrated Black Sabbath songs, Falling Off the Edge of the World. Kind of begins similar to how Sign of the Southern Cross begins. It begins with like a really dark acoustic melodic intro, then it gets fucking fairly fast. This one's like pure heavy metal. In fact, to me, this song almost sounds like it could be an Iron Maiden song at times.
I mean, what era of Maiden? Are we talking Paul or Bruce?
Well, maybe like Number of the Beast, kind of. And again, this was produced by Martin Birch, too, who produced those Iron Maiden albums. So.
Oh, but yeah, well, crap, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep,
God damn it, now I gotta buy this. Dang it. Now I gotta buy it because Martin Birch is on here. Dang it.
Man, Falling Off the Edge of the World rules. I freaking love this song. Then over and over ends kind of a melodic song, kind of bluesy. But I think it's a pretty cool ender to this great album. I think it's an easy score for me with this album. It's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. All right, Me Metal Mike, you're up again.
You've been Speckledorf. Enough the story. Mob Rules. The Mob Rules. Great album. Turn Up the Night. Great opener. Voodoo. My favorite song off the album is Voodoo. Love Voodoo. Love Benny Appice's drumming on that song. Just a great catchy. Ronnie's vocals are on point on that song. Voodoo rules, man. Sign of the Southern Cross. Children of the Sea, Part 2, in my opinion. Great fucking song. Love it. E5150. It's a cool instrumental. The Mob Rules. I do like the heavy metal version over the Mob Rules version, but this song fucking kicks ass, man. Talk about metal. Like, Mob Rules is, even for Sabbath, that's a fast song. It's great stuff. Country Girl, Slipping Away, Falling Off the Edge of the World, over and over. Album's a solid 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Can't complain. Fucking great album.
Yeah. I think we're all in agreement here. First time. We're all in agreement. 10 out of 10. Yeah. Because, yeah, musically, it feels, yeah, written here. Musically, it's the same as the previous, but it's definitely better. Definitely way better. Easily 10 out of 10. Again, this one's just some of those high, like you said. I like, my favorite is Sign of the Southern Cross. Fucking banger of a song. And yeah, I love this title track, The Mob Rules. Freaking great. Yeah, that is obviously because apologies, still a lot of coughing from me. Obviously, Vinny and this will be it for a while between Vinny and Dio. We'll get back to them later. They would go and leaving it being Dio, Ronnie J's Dio solo band, that they would, go and do that, and then obviously Bill Ward comes back, and they get at the time ex-D Purple singer Ian Gillan. They still have Jeff Nichols, by the way. He's still in the band. And then they release in September 9th of 1983, Born Again. I would argue a very controversial album. And unfortunately, I don't know this. So, Ben, take it away.
All right, man. So this one's either a love and hated album for a lot of people. I've seen people put this album high. I've seen people put this album very low because a lot of people hate the production on here. Me, the production of this album doesn't bother me. And I'll get into why, because I think this album sounds pretty fucking evil with the raw production. And this, okay, production wise, okay, you know what this album reminds me of production wise? Kiss Is Hotter Than Hell, because that had a really dirty, dingy, raw, unproduced production. God, this album just kicks so much ass. Now, a lot of people would say this is the worst era of Black Sabbath with Van Gillen being aboard. Yes, Bill Ward's back. I'll tell you what, man. I think Bill Ward's played some of his best drumming on this album. Like, trashed. Holy cripe. Those freaking fills he's doing in that track, jeez, they're freaking amazing. And this one's a pretty damn heavy song, for Black Sabbath. Not that they haven't done, like, heavy songs. Well, heavy for them, kind of songs before. But, yeah, this song's just downright awesome. Stonehead's kind of just a little instrumental, but then we get Disturbing the Priest. Jeez, this track is just so damn evil sounding. And the fucking notes that Ian Gillan is hitting on this freaking album are just absolutely impeccably amazing. And just evil sounding, especially on this track. Yeah, very dark, heavy song. I really like it. All right, so then we get the dark, kind of another interlude type of track that goes into Zero, the Hero. This song freaking rules. And yes, this song is pretty much, the riff in this song became pretty famous because there's a couple bands that kind of ripped this riff off a little bit. Pertainly Guns N' Roses with Paradise City, and there's a Danzig song too that ripped it off. I just can't remember which Danzig song off the top of my head. But yeah, but that ripped is badass. And of course, Cannibal Corpse did a really badass cover of Zero to Hero too when they had Chris Barnes on vocals. But yeah, Zero to Hero is freaking awesome and heavy. Then we turned it over to Digital Bitch. This one's pretty heavy too, and has some pretty amazing drum work by Bill Ward. Now, this one apparently is about Sharon Osbourne, but the band denies that it's actually about her. Who knows? Who knows? It could be about Sharon Osbourne. To me, it sounds like it kind of is, but I don't know. And I can't really prove that, so. But that's a good, heavy song. The title track, Born Again. Holy shit, man, this is a good one. Now, this has some, like, of Ann Gillan's probably highest singing ever, on tape. And apparently he blew out his voice when he was making this song. So,
Damn.
pretty much why he doesn't sing high anymore, can't sing high anymore. So, yeah, apparently he blew out his vocals while recording this album, and apparently it was while recording this song. But yeah, he does some amazing freaking vocal work. I'll tell you what, Tony Iommi does some of his best damn guitar leads on this album because he does an amazing solo on Zero to Hero and Born Again. And he does some pretty shredding guitar work too. Like on Digital Bits, he's shredding. Trast, he's kind of shredding. And Tony Iommi was never really known for like really shredding, All right, what's next here? Oh yeah, Hotline, okay. This is a cool song. I like this one too. This one kind of reminds me of more of a Deep Purple song, like a heavier Deep Purple song. I like it. Keep It Warm ends the album. This one's freaking great too. I really love this song. Okay, I'm going to be controversial. You want to know what my ranking of this album is? An 11 out of 10, if you can do that. I think this album is fucking amazing. I know that's controversial. Not a lot of people will agree with that, but I love it.
Yep. All right, Mike. You said this is the last one you're doing in this one, unless you do decide to come back for the Heaven and Hell album, the Heaven and Hell band album. So take it away.
Oh boy. Well, Metal Maniacs, Mean Metal Mike loves this album. Fucking great album. Probably Ian Gillan's best album he's ever recorded in a studio. My God, Bill Rudd. Wow. Bill Ward and Phil Rudd mixed together. Well,
Could you imagine? Could you imagine
Bill Ward.
Could you imagine those two working on an album together?
Bill Ward. Fuck, man. Trash. Fucking great song. It's just a fucking fast electric song. Stonehenge is great and dark. Disturbing the Priest could say has a bit of a proto-metal vibe to it. Fucking great song. I love Bill Ward strumming on that. The Dark. Zero the Hero, man. That's gotta be up there. In like greatest Black Sabbath songs, Zero the Hero has to be up there. For me at least, it's up there. Digital Bitch. That is definitely, I think, Tony Iommi's pulling a rib on Sharon Osbourne. I think that song's about Sharon Osbourne. She's so great. A Digital Bit. I fucking love that song. Born Again. Beautiful song. Great song. Hotline. Fucking great song. Especially Bill Ward's. Just him slamming those drums on Hotline. And of course, Keep It Warm. Another fucking great song. Especially Bill Ward strumming on Keep It Warm. It's kind of a basic 4/4 thing, and then he goes crazy. Oh, it's a fucking great album. This album's 11 out of 10, too. Fucking fantastic album. If you think this album sucks, you're a loser, and you should really hand in your metal card.
Yeah. I hate to be the downer one on this one. Yeah, I hate to be the downer one. I don't think this is perfect album for me, unfortunately. There were some killer songs on there. I think Disturbing the Priest is a great song. But go ahead, do your boos all you want. But there were two specific songs I was like, I'm not too entirely sure about them. And it was the choruses for, I think it was, the opening song was Trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, what the? It let me scratching my head. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
The music sounded great. I'm like, what am I listening to? The chorus is like, what the hell? And then Zero to Hero was like, it made the chorus wise, they made no sense for those songs, but for the rest of the songs are fucking great. Fucking love them. So because of all those, the weirdness of Trash and Zero to Hero, the choruses and stuff, I had to give it a 9.5. Unfortunately, I'm the one downer when it comes to that album. I was like, they just didn't sit right with me when I was listening to them. I was like, great music, but they were just like, why?
Pitchforks.
I mean, 9.5 is better. I thought you were going to give it like a
Get
7.
your pitchfork,
No,
metal bell.
not yeah, no. It's nowhere gonna be nowhere near Never Say Die.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
I was about to say I would have been getting the pitchfork.
or I should say, fortunately, but 9.5 was a little bit. I think it was fair because it was like for the rest of the album was really good. So thank you. If you do decide to come back, Mike, you'll have.
I want to ask Ben. Hold on. I have one thing to say. Ben, what are your thoughts on Bill Ward's drumming on this album?
I think it's awesome. I think it's some of his best drumming. Now, Bill Ward, I don't believe did the tour there. They brought in Bev Bevins to do the tour from ELO. I think he was from ELO. He did the tour. Bill left again because he was still having problems.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, I definitely will mention him here again.
Yep. Yeah, so now we get a huge gap. Well, probably.
Yeah, not a big gap. It's not a big gap like the gap we'll get to later on, pretty much. But thank you, Mike. Well, hopefully, if you do decide to come in for the Heaven and Hell Band album, you have the link. But yeah, obviously, it's not really that big of a gap. It's really a 3-year gap, pretty much. But yeah, in between all of that, Ian Gillan would rejoin Deep Purple, and he's been there ever since. The original lineup, including Ozzy, did a one-time at Live Aid. Nothing came of all that. It was just a one-off. Bill and Geezer left, and Iommi was like, fuck it, I'll do a solo. And he had Jeff Nichols with him. He also recruited future Kiss drummer Eric Singer, bassist Dave Spitz, and he does get another ex-Deep Purple singer, Glenn Hughes. Yep. Now, unfortunately, he had planned this to be a solo album, but record label were like, no, you got to release it as a Black Sabbath album. And obviously, as you see on there, it is Black Sabbath featuring Tony Iommi. We get 7th Star.
Yep, the 7th Star.
Yep. Ben, take it away.
Contrary to popular belief, I don't think this album's as bad as a lot of people think it is.
No,
there's stuff on here that's kind of weak. Okay, let's get into the tracks here. I'm going to pull this up on my phone again because it's easier to read. Oh, wait, wrong phone. My bad.
Wrong phone. Yep, indeed. Wrong phone. I'll pull them up as well. See if I can find the track on the album. Oh, boy, I scroll by.
All right, here we go. So this album came out January 28th of 1986 on Warner Brothers, obviously. Dave Spitz being the oldest brother of Danny Spitz, former Anthrax guitarist. I figured I'd bring that up for whatever reason.
That's it. That's kind of interesting, pretty much. Yeah. But yeah, like I mentioned, Eric Singer's on here too. So it's like, holy shit, Eric Singer on here. Awesome.
All right, man. Let's get into the tracks here. Okay. All right. In For the Kill. This song freaking rocks, I think. I like this one. And the cool part about this track, and Black Sabbath never really done a lot of this. This one pretty much has like double bass drumming the whole way through it. And I think Glenn Hughes sounds good on this track. I really like it. Yeah, this is a pretty damn good opener, I think. No Stranger to Love would be next. They did a very cheesy video for this track.
Yep.
I know a lot of people hate this song. Me, it doesn't really bother me. I think Glenn Hughes does some good vocal work on here. I really like Iomi's solo. But I don't think it's a terrible song, but, you know, it's kind of.
It is
It
what
sounds
it is.
like-
It's of the time. It's of those
Yeah.
80s cheesy ballad songs. But I mean, those kind of stuff. I am a sucker for those kind of things, for those kind of songs. Obviously.
Yeah. I don't think it's a terrible song, though, like a lot of people do. But it's a decent song. All right, this one's a good one. Now this one's pretty much a speed metal song. Turn to Stone. This one's fast. It's got some double bass stuff going on too. Yeah, I like this one. I think it's a good, fast, energetic track. Sphinx, I can never fucking pronounce that. The Guardian, just a short little instrumental. Then we get the title track, Seventh Star. Great song. I love this song. I really like this one. I think it could have fit on maybe Born Again, or maybe not Born Again, but okay, I take that back. This sounds like a predecessor of what is to come very shortly with another vocalist that we're going to talk about very shortly. So yeah, Seven Stars, a good song. Danger Zone's another upbeat rocker. I like this.
Apparently, that was supposed to be. What was it? Top Gun thing? That's the top song for Top Gun, I believe. But they ended up going with what was it? Another Danger Zone from what was it? I think Mike. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't remember it either off the top of my head, but yeah.
So Kenny Loggins?
Yeah.
I think it was. No, wait, was it Kenny Loggins? I think it might have been Kenny. I think it was. I can't remember.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, they went with that. I think they went with that one because, like, yeah, that one's the better one, pretty much.
Even though I think this is actually a better song than that one, but yeah, I don't mind. I think Danger Zone's good. Here's where the album drops off for me. It's not that this is really a bad song, but it doesn't need to be over 6 minutes long. Heart Like a Will, this is basically just a blues song, and it's too freaking long. To me, it just doesn't really go anywhere. Don't get me wrong, Glenn Hughes sounds fine on it. It's just not my cup of tea when I want to listen to Tony Iommi. Yep. So that one's definitely a weak track. Angry Heart ends it. Not a bad ending to the album. Kind of melodic again, too. And In Memories, just kind of a short little track. Score-wise, what would I give this album? I'm not going to be hard on this album like some people would. I still give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
I feel like I'm in that same area. I can't remember. I feel like I'm in the same area. I can't remember what I gave Technical Ecstasy, because I look at this and I'm like, oh, it's kind of the same as like Technical Ecstasy. I was like, going into this, I was like, this isn't a Black Sabbath album. This is meant to be a Tony Iommi solo album. I went into that and then listened to it and I'm like, this was actually fun. It reminded me of when we were talking about Technical Ecstasy. Kind of a fun song, kind of fun album, all that stuff. You know, fun, a mix of really fun and rocking songs and some ballads. An overall enjoyable album that I might listen to every once in a while. I can't remember. I feel like I might have given it the same rating as Technical Ecstasy. Because I know what I gave Never Say Die. I gave it around the 7 out of 10. Because it was like, it wasn't that good. Or it may be lower than that. But 7 Star was a fun, enjoyable album. And I really enjoyed it. So I can't remember where it was. It's either in that 8 or 9. Somewhere, I feel like it's in the same score as Technical Ecstasy for me. Because I enjoyed, both of them are very similar for me. Because I enjoyed this album. Yeah. I can't remember the rating I gave it or something like that, because I didn't write it down on my notes for this, unfortunately. But yeah, like you said, Ray Gillen joins, After Glenn Hughes injured his orbital bone, but would eventually leave to form Blue Murder. They had done some recordings with Ray Gillen, but unfortunately, he was, I can't remember what happened with him, but they ended up getting Tony Martin. We are now entering the Tony Martin era. Also, of all people coming in, at the time, ex-Ozzy Osbourne bassist Bob Daisley also joined Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
And we get, on November of 1987, via Warner Brothers Records, the last time they are on that label, before they released their last album, we'll get to that in here, in 2013, obviously 13, The Eternal Idol. Unfortunately, Ben does not have it physically.
Yeah,
I don't even have it physically. I want to get this album physically. Because oh my god, it is such a like. This is the year I'm like, I love this band. So Ben, let's get into a forgotten gem, an underrated era in Black Sabbath. So Eternal Idol.
Yeah,
go for
it. Yeah, man, there was a lot of different stuff that went on at that time. Actually, in that period too, they were auditioning a lot of vocalists. I can't remember every vocalist they auditioned, but one vocalist they did audition, and he almost joined Sabbath, was John Oliva of Sabotage.
Oh,
yep. And I believe that Paul O'Dell talked about it joining. So,
interesting.
Anyways, let's get into the tracks here. We're not going to waste too much time here. Oh man, the opening track, The Shining, fucking amazing.
Yeah, oh fuck yeah. You open it with that. Yes.
Good Lord, this is such a good song. And like I said, like the title track on the last record, The Seven Star, well, right here is basically what I was talking about. That style would kind of go more into the Tony Martin era of Sabbath. You know, with that melodic, more power metal type of sound.
Yeah, definitely.
God damn, this song rules. One of my favorites off the album, if not my favorite. Well, I'm not sure if it's my favorite. Damn close, though. Ancient Warriors is another excellent track.
Oh, my God, yeah. The chorus on that.
Yes.
Love it. Just the vocals from Tony, my God.
Yeah, Ancient Warriors is such a good song. You can get some awesome drum work by Eric Singer on that track.
Yep, Eric is still on here, but he wouldn't be for much longer. This is his last one with Sabbath.
Yep. Hard Life to Love. This is another really good song, I think, too.
Yep. That's the guitar riff from Wyoming. My God.
Oh, yeah.
It's a catchy song, man.
Yeah, this is a really, really good song. Great riffs by Iommi. Fuck. Tony Martin's vocals are absolutely awesome. Glory Ride. This is another strong song, I think. I really like this one, too. You know, just a damn good song. Born to Lose is another killer track. I mean, some good vocals, some damn good leads and stuff going on in that track. Nightmare, it's a damn good one. Don't mind me, I'm a little foggy on like the next the next couple tracks on here, since I haven't actually owned this physically in a long time. So, and I was listening to it when I was out. I didn't quite get to finish the whole album though. I got up to Born to Lose, so like Nightmare, I'm a little foggy on it. Don't have much memory of it, unfortunately. Now, Scarlet Pimpernel. How the fuck do you pronounce that?
Scarlet Pimpernel.
Oh, Pimpernel. Okay, yeah. Now that's a nice acoustic intro or an acoustic instrumental by Iommi. I do remember that one. That's a good one. Lost Forever, if I remember correctly, is a pretty fast upbeat track from what I remember. So yeah, so there's really like two songs on here I'm kind of foggy on. But Jesus Christ, it's the ending track on here.
Oh, this. Oh my. This is shades of what we're gonna get to on the next album because here. That's when it's like that doom metal comes back, and I'm like, oh my god, it's doomy. It's epic
Epic.
doom.
Right. Definitely epic doom metal sounding. Okay, this is my favorite track on the album. The last track, Eternal Idol. Epic, doomy, dark, and freaking amazing vocals by Tony Martin. All right, man. So this album, I'm gonna give a 9 out of 10. Only because I'm a little foggy on a couple tracks on here.
Yep.
That's why it's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm the one that I remember how this was. I thought it was a perfect power metal origin / 80s heavy metal / epic doom metal, like you said. The title track is I believe, the only one that's epic doom metal album when I first listened to it, and I still absolutely think it's perfect. Obviously, this is Tony Martin's introduction, and it's just like, man, freaking love it. Easily for me, one of the greatest Black Sabbath albums I ever heard. 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this album. Love it all the way. Yeah, I can kind of feel a little bit foggy when it comes to the other stuff, but man, all I know is they were all fantastic to listen to. But yeah, like I said, the Eternal Idol song is a teaser for what's to come after that. After that, Daisley and Singer left before the album was complete and joined Gary Moore. Obviously, Daisy would also later rejoin Ozzy Osbourne the next year with No Rest for the Wicked, because he wasn't on The Ultimate Sin, which to me was the worst classic Ozzy album. But yeah, Singer would go and join Gary Moore. I think he also went to go and do Badlands, if I'm correct. I feel like he was.
Yep.
And then after that, join Kiss, obviously. Then they get I think for this album, I don't know if he was on the music, but he would later join. But they had Cozy Powell comes in. You replace one great drummer with another great drummer, a classic drummer that I think everybody knows, Cozy Powell. And they also get, essentially, this is almost like a White Snake lineup. They're just replacing David Coverdale and John Sykes with Tony Iommi and Tony Martin. And we get, also at this point, they would also sign with IRS. And also, they obviously later on would re-release these in the Anno Domini box set. So this one, at least the next 4 Tony Martin albums, and it starts with this one, The Headless Cross. And I believe the one you hold in your hand is from the Anno Domini box set, one of the remastered ones.
Correct. You are right about that. Yep.
Yeah, and obviously that box set contains obviously that one, Tier, Cross Purposes, and Forbidden. And yes, that's the version I ended up listening to, which was the remastered one, the more recent version of that. So yes. Headless Cross. Let's talk about it, Ben.
Oh yeah. Let's get into it. All right. The Gates of Hell, just a short little dark instrumental that leads into the title track, The Headless Cross, and what a freaking awesome song this is.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. It's debatable which album to me has the best Tony Martin vocal performance. Because I'm kind of going back and forth between 3 of these albums. Man, it's tough. But this one really has an amazing performance by him on this freaking record. I noticed he sings a little higher on some of the tracks on here too. But man, this song is so damn good. So damn epic. You talk about an amazing beginner to an album, man. Devil and Daughter's another freaking killer song. Just full of like great Iommi riffs, some excellent drumming by Cozy Powell. Man, I love this track. But then,
When Death Calls, obviously.
This might be the best freaking melodic Black Sabbath song. I'm talking like out of every era. The song's so damn good.
Yep.
And
And he
it's
has
got
a guitar solo. He has a first guitar solo on When Death Calls from the Queen guitarist Brian May.
Yep, that's right. Brian May makes a guest appearance on this track because him and Tony Iommi,
Both best
have
friends.
always been really good friends. So yeah, it's a shame those two never made an album together.
Oh, that would be so awesome if they do.
Oh man,
There's still time to make it happen at the very
yes,
least.
that would be cool if it did happen.
Yep.
Yeah, when Death Calls, oh my god, this song's so damn good. Everything about this track is good. The vocals, the freaking melodic guitar playing on this, everything's good. Such a powerful, epic song. Killing the Spirit World, I like this one too. It's back to a bit of a heavier track. Pretty good stuff. I like it. Call the Wild. I've heard some people say that they think Call the Wild's probably the weakest track on here. I would probably agree. That one didn't stand out to me as much. It's still not bad though. But it doesn't really stand out to me as much. Black Moon, freaking Black Moon's awesome too. I like that one. Good heavy track. Nightwing, Jesus Christ, this is a great ender, I think, to this album. Again, it's kind of like along the lines of When Death Calls, with having like a melodic, having like melodic playing to it, and acoustics and stuff like that. But geez, freaking Tony Martin stole the damn show, I think, on that track and on this album. So I would give this album probably a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Close to a 10 out of 10.
Yep. I would have almost agreed with you the first time I was listening to this because it did, but I'm kind of glad I gave this a second listen because those back half tracks to some degree did get a lot better for me when I was listening to it. Like I said, I've written on here. I'm glad I listened to it a second time because it definitely improved for me listening to them a second time, and obviously this version I listened to, the more recent remastered version. Once again, it's another 10 out of 10 for me. Fucking love it. Off of those, at least three of the first four tracks, obviously going the opening intro that goes into freaking the Headless Cross, and then going into and then When Death Calls, and it's just like, man, I'm just kind of glad I gave this a second listen. There is no history in this one, so we just going into it next. Tear released August 20th, 1990. So about a month. Oh, you have? Oh, nice. Oh, that's got the original version, if I'm correct, not the recent one.
Yep, this is the original one with IRS.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'll let you go as I'm.
All right, so yeah, we're up to Tear now. Came out in 1990, like Ryan said. Let me just pull up the track listing here. Now, this one's kind of a concept album in a way. Yeah, about Odin, Anyways, so yeah, this album, ironically, it used to be my favorite Tony Martin album. It might have dropped a little, but not much. All right, man. Anno Mundi. This song's freaking awesome. A great opener to the album. Very power metal like. Like, to me, if we're going to call one Black Sabbath a power metal album, it's got to be this one. Anno Mundi's amazing. Such a great epic track. I like the Lawmaker, too. Lawmaker, the next track is fast. Pretty fast paced. It's got some damn good riffs in it. So then we get Jerusalem, another really epic track on here. I really like Jerusalem. Some really powerful vocals by Tony Martin on this one. You can really, there's some really good Jeff Nichols keyboard work too on that track. And then we get the Sabbath Stone, probably the darkest track on here. It's heavy, you know. It's got some pretty doomy riffs. I really like it. Then we get the Battle of Tyr, just a really orchestrated instrumental, kind of cool. Of course, a short little acoustic track that's freaking awesome. Then we get Valhalla. This is one of my favorites on here. I love Valhalla. Just a good epic power metal song. Now, a lot of people would call Feels Good to Me the oddball on the album. It's a ballad. Yeah, even though I think Tony Iommi plays a really nice solo in here, yeah, to me, this one does feel kind of odd on this record. And then Heaven in Black is a good up-tempo fast track. I really enjoy Heaven in Black. Good way to end this record. Score-wise, I would probably give this one a 9.3 out of 10. But damn,
All right.
it's a damn good album.
Yep. But yeah, I just got back, or while you were talking, so unfortunately I wasn't possibly able to hear this. So where am I at on this one? We're at Tyr, if I'm correct. Yes. Kind of. This is one where they were exploring all the power metal stuff. Oh, hello, Ballad, and we got John in here. I know Me Metal Mike is possibly still lurking in the chat, but yes, come to Tyr. Kind of, sort of, kind of. I know there is only one track on here that isn't really part of the concept. Obviously, it feels good to me. I didn't hear what you said about that one. What did you say?
Okay, that track. That seems like the track that gets the most hate on that record.
I don't hate it. It's like it just, you look at it, it's like it does. If they were trying to go for a concept thing, it doesn't really fit the concept pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It just feels really odd on the record. Like,
yeah,
because it's like
proto power metal. A little bit of proto power.
Yeah.
It's power metal in some cases. It's like they're going to concept. Like, you're going to commit to the full concept. Come on, come on.
Yeah, because Feel Good to Me is like about getting your heart broken and losing a woman. It's like, what the fuck does this have anything to do with the album? So yeah, it does feel odd. Like I said, it's not a terrible song. It's got some good vocal performances by Tony Martin. Obviously, good guitar solos by Iommi. Just, it doesn't really fit the album.
Yep. But obviously, I think even with it feeling kind of the oddball out of it, it's like kind of like the weird one and like the weird person in the room that just doesn't fit. You know, it's like you got all of those and all this stuff, and then they got this. Like, even I find it to be a great song. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really fit the concept, but it's third album in a row for them. 10 out of 10 for me again. Even with Feels Good to Me, I still think that's a fantastic song. I loved it. Love it. But things are about to get better again because they were originally going into the studio again. And I believe there was some of the material on here was being recorded with Tony Martin. But something big eventually happened in this one. A lot of former members come back. Geezer Butler comes back. Vinny Appice comes back. And Ronnie James Dio comes back. And we get, not just on IRS, but they also go on Reprise records as well on here. And on June 22nd of 1992, they release Demonizer.
Shit, man. And you know what? I used to have the Reprise version too, but this one is the IRS version.
Just the IRS. But yeah, that it was also on Reprise as well. So that's why I said IRS and Reprise.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. I apologize.
It does have the Reprise logo on it.
Let me look here.
Because I would know what the logo looks like. It's like a big R or something. Or maybe it was a different logo back in 1992. but the one that I know had like a giant R or something like that.
No, I'm not seeing it on here.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Not even on the CD or even the booklet.
Mm, let me look inside the booklet because I know it came out on Reprise too, but I didn't know
Yep.
there was like two separate versions. I used to have the Reprise.
I think it was
version.
on both. I'm looking. Now look real quick what it is on this one. What did they say about this one? Okay, tier. I didn't even look at tier on this one, and then dehumanizer. If I'm looking at this right, yeah, it is just on IRS.
Yeah, mine's
But
just
yeah,
yeah,
in the
mine.
UK, it was IRS. But on June, it was released in two different versions.
All right,
In the
well, mine.
UK on June 22nd, it was released in the UK on June 22nd in '92 on IRS, and then it's 8 days later on June 30th in the US by Reprise. That
You know what?
you got the UK,
I got the
version.
UK version. I got this off eBay quite a while ago.
Yeah, you got the UK. You basically have the UK version and not the US version. But
Yeah,
yes,
mine's the UK
Human.
version. Yep.
But yeah, basically I basically have what it says, picked up right where they left off on Mob Rules, pretty much.
So yes, we get the Mob Rules lineup back.
Yep.
Now, yeah, like Ryan said, there are rumored demos out there of this with Tony Martin on it. And apparently Tony Martin was never informed that, he was no longer in the band or whatever. He still thought he was in the band.
Yeah.
it's weird. That period of Sabbath's pretty weird.
Yeah, because of the whole stuff also during that time period with Ozzy. Because he was doing the first No More Tours thing. And it was after all the No More Tears, and he was not going to do any more of the touring stuff like that. All that weird stuff was going on with not just him, but also Sabbath and all that.
So this album, up to this point, would be the longest Black Sabbath album, too, 52 minutes and 17 seconds long, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And this one definitely goes back to a darker, heavier sound, too. This one is pretty damn heavy. So we get Computer Gods to begin things. Basically, just a freaking crushing track. Where Ronnie James Dio is basically already predicting what the future is going to be like with technology on this track. Such a good song. I really love Computer Gods.
Computer, because basically the internet was in its infancy at this point.
Right. So yeah, it's a really good song. I like it. After All the Dead's another very dark and heavy song. Really good stuff. I like it. TV Crimes. This one's another damn good song. A little more fast pace on this track. Dio sounds great on here. Just a good song. I like it. It's fast and upbeat. Thing notably on this album too, it doesn't seem like there's much keyboard work on this album. Like I said,
even though Jeff Nichols is credited.
Yeah, he's there
on Wikipedia. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear him like on the melodic section of Computer Gods. Letters from Earth. This one's just a doomy, heavy song. I really like this one too. Master of Insanity. Another pretty damn good song, Maybe not as memorable, but it's still pretty decent. Time Machine.
There is also a version of it on Wayne's World.
That's right. Yeah, the song would be on Wayne's World. I've heard a lot of people bitch about this song, say they don't like it. I've never had a problem with the song, to be honest. I mean, it's pretty heavy and it's pretty up-tempo. Sins of the Father, again, just another dark song. I'd say probably another kind of forgettable track on here, but it's still pretty damn good. Too Late. This is a really, really good melodic track. I mean, Dio sounds freaking great on this track. I like the melodic stuff that Iommi's doing on here. I think it's great. and probably the heaviest track on here. And apparently this was Ronnie James Dio. Yeah, this was Ronnie James Dio's favorite Black Sabbath song. I'm talking about the track I. This one is just heavy. Some of the heaviest Tony Iommi riffs ever laid down on tape, in my opinion. So just a damn good song. And then we get Buried Alive at the end of the album, a very doomy track, very dark and heavy. Good stuff. Like I said, this is definitely a heavier album. Man, I'm still going to give this one like a 9 out of 10. I think it's still a damn good album.
Yeah. I think for me, this is easily the best of the Dio albums for me. Because, yeah, each one, until we get to the last one he does with the band, have progressively, for me, gotten better. Like I said, I have this, this basically is where they picked up right where they left off on the Mob Rules. But this, I say, this time with better production and any heavier sound, easily. I dare say this is the best one. While I love Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules, I think this is the best one that Dio has done in Sabbath, without a doubt for me. I mean, we all have the higher scores for all that stuff, but to me, this is easily the best Dio has done with the band, like easily. So yeah, I give it. Obviously, you know what that means. I give this a 10 out of 10 for me. You know, I freaking love listening to this all the way through. Just yeah, instantly awesome. Then obviously because of all the stuff that was going on with Ozzy, Dio obviously was also around here. They were doing all the stuff with Ozzy, and Ozzy wanted to do stuff, you know, have kind of final performances with Sabbath and stuff like that. Kind of like what they're doing right now. Now with, you know, being the final Sabbath concert coming up, you know, with in its the original lineup pretty much. They're trying to do something like that, but you know, Dio didn't want to do all that. Unfortunately, all this didn't come to pass. But who they did get during these tours and stuff with Ozzy was the metal god himself, Rob Halford. And he came in and did some of the live set. I think most of the set was the Dio albums. There wasn't that many of the Ozzy stuff, pretty much. So it was mainly the Dio stuff. Obviously, you know, Rob does come back and does some of the Ozzy stuff later. I think he does both of the Dio and Ozzy stuff fantastically. But I mean, he can pull that off. Rob Halford's the metal god for goddamn reason, damn it.
Heck yeah.
But unfortunately, this eventually led to Dio and Vinny leaving and going and returning to do the Dio stuff. That let Tony Martin come back in. Geezer didn't leave yet. And they also get Bobby Rondinelli on the drums.
Yes.
And they released in February 8th of 1994, Cross Purposes. Oh, I'm ashamed you don't have this one, unfortunately.
Yeah. This is one I was going to order, and it wouldn't have been here till tomorrow. So
yeah, unfortunately.
But I used to own it on cassette tape at one time. Okay, so this album kind of drops a little bit for me.
Yeah, same here. No more 10 out of 10 from here on out, unfortunately. It ends with the Humanizer, unfortunately, for me.
Okay, so we got Eyewitness. Okay, this one's a pretty good upbeat track. I like it. It's good. You know. Cross of Thorns. It's good. I actually like this one, but I don't know. For me, this one kind of sounds like another Black Sabbath song from like an older album. It kind of sounds like The Eternal Idol, the title track. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. It just kind of has a similar like vibe to it. Not that it's bad or anything, but Psychophobia is a pretty fast, upbeat track. But it's not memorable. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not that memorable. Virtual Death, this one's really interesting because it almost seems like on this track they were kind of influenced by Alice in Chains. It's got a very Alice in Chains vibe to it. It's very weird, but in some weird way it kind of works. Immaculate Deception, I do like this one. This one's pretty fast. It's got some good speed metal parts in it. Pretty good stuff. We flip it over to Dying for Love. Just kind of a boring ballad.
I was remembering watching the Thralls of Metal video, and they mentioned, I think it was Shredlord said that is the song to like a Skinamax movie.
Yeah, this song does nothing for me. Boy. Back to Eden. Now I don't even remember that song that well. So that one's kind of whatever. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Okay, this one it's kind of forgettable too. Just don't have much memory of it. Cardinal Sin. It's an alright track. Then we get the last track, Evil Eye. This is the one that was co-written by Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, I didn't know this. I was like, wait, that can't be right. Eddie Van Halen helped co-write this? I was like, what?
Yep.
Like, what?
Yeah, this album though, man. I mean, I don't know. It just does. There's a lot of stuff on this I don't remember. It kind of feels like a lot of filler.
No, Durango Girl, I love his vocals too. I love all of his albums pretty much.
But no, I think Evil Eye's a pretty good ender. I mean,
yeah.
So this album does fall to me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10.
I wouldn't put it that low. I mean, I just say while it's great, unfortunately it's not perfect. There's some songs I can't remember which one of what some of them were. There were some songs that were being a little bit repetitive, just like I was just like they just were like not for me. I give this a 9.5 out of 10. You know, and this was another one that would get the remastered edition. Along with this next one, now obviously Geezer leaves to go form his solo band GZR, which leaves room for Neil Murray and Cozy Powell to return. And unfortunately, this is one of those moments where they enlist Ernie C from Body Count. And fair warning, I know a lot of the Sabbath fans do not like this one. But for me, I ended up listening to the more recent version. So maybe my opinion is a little bit different in this case. So maybe it'd be different if I was listening to the original. But we get, oh boy. And he unfortunately is holding it. We get to For Bed, and that's the Tony Iommi remastered or remixed version. Yep. So yeah. So our opinions are a little bit different. We have, well, I'm sure he's listened to the original before, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what is, because for me, I never listened to the original one. I listened to this version. So is there kind of a difference between the original and this version?
There's a big difference. I used to have the original. The production on the original is very, very flat. It just does not have good production. Like, I don't know, man. Everything on it just seems like it's too quiet. I guess is the word I'm looking for. But this version made me appreciate this album a little more. Now, everybody that does album rankings on this band usually puts this at the bare bottom.
But yeah, I do have it. Yeah, I do have it. It says here on the Wikipedia, it was re-released with a totally new remix in 2024 as part of the Anno Domini 1989 to 1995 box set, and then later on as an individual release.
And here's the thing, apparently at first Ice-T was going to be brought in to do all the vocals on this record, but then they got Tony Martin to come back. I don't know what this album would have sounded like if it would have been all Ice-T doing the vocals, to be honest. I mean, he does do a guest appearance on the opening track, The Illusion of Power. Okay,
that
so
is probably the only one that I'm like, yeah, that's the weak link on the album.
now I definitely have my criticisms of this album still, even with the remix, even though I think the remix makes it sound much better. Yeah, The Illusion of Power, the opening track, this song just sucks. It's not good at all.
It's just like, no, you should have never done that one. No.
Yeah, this might be actually one of the worst Black Sabbath songs ever recorded.
I can agree with you, yeah.
But it doesn't. I think the next track's an improvement. I do like Get a Grip. I think that's a good, pretty heavy track. It's got a nice riff by Tony. Can't Get Close Enough. It's pretty melodic. Now on this one, it sounds like he tuned his guitar down to like drop B. It does have a heavy sound. I think the original version of this track kind of sucks, but I do like the remastered version of this better. I think the production definitely beefed it up. Shaking Off the Chains. This one's weird to me. Okay. And I'm going to say right now, I think this album has Tony Martin's worst vocal performance because his vocals are not very good on this track. And let me explain why. To be on this track, I think he's trying to sound like Ozzy. If you listen to it really good, you can tell that he's trying to sound like Ozzy on this track. And it just doesn't work. So this track, now it's weird because there's good parts in this track. When it gets a little faster, it gets good. But it's one of them tracks that's like half and half. I Won't Cry for You. I'm not really that big of a fan of this track. It's not that good. Okay, let's flip it over. Guilty as Hell. I do like Guilty as Hell. This is a pretty good heavy song. Sick and Tired, kind of filler. It's whatever. Rusty Angels. I think this is the best track on the album. I do like Rusty Angels. This track's good. All right, the title track, Forbidden. This one's pretty decent, not bad. The last track, Kiss of Death. This is a damn good ender to this otherwise kind of mediocre album. It's pretty good. Score-wise, I'm going to give this one. Strangely, I like this album maybe a little better than Cross Proposes.
Yeah, this is the third best Tony Martin album. It's not going to be anywhere close to Headless Cross and Eternal Idol, or even Tear. Wait, this would be fourth. Yeah, this would be fourth.
Yeah. So this album, I'm going to give a 7.2 out of 10.
Yeah, my notes for this is it's like, yeah, a lot of people say that this is the worst or one of the worst Black Sabbath albums. For me, I think it's a misunderstood album. I actually enjoyed this album. Outside of the opening track, yes, the opening track, The Illusion of Power, is not that great. No, should not have done that one. But I think for the rest of it, it kind of is. I wouldn't say it was nearly perfect. Obviously, that opening track is just a no for me. But I give this a 9.75, which in some case, a lot of these albums can breathe, knowing they ain't gonna be the worst thing on this. Considering I still think Never Say Die is the worst. But obviously,
Oh boy.
then we get the long gap here. There is obviously Iommi puts Black Sabbath on hiatus to focus on a solo career. They would reunite twice. Near the end, they would reunite with the original lineup with Ozzy, Tony, Geezer, and Bill, and also the Heaven and Hell lineup. They even did like a compilation, the Dio years for Black Sabbath, and they're trying to go in into the studio later on as Black Sabbath. But because of legal reasons, because of Sharon Osbourne, they couldn't use the name Black Sabbath. So they went with the name of, hence why I said that Heaven and Hell album was kind of their self-titled debut. Um they would go in and officially become the name Heaven and Hell. There's Mike's answer to that, and they would record in 2010. And I wish he was here. So unfortunately, he ain't gonna be here. In 2010 or 2009, April 28th of 2009, via Rhino, their fourth album, their fourth and final one, because after this we will get into it. The Devil You Know. So Ben,
All right. I do own this one. There we go.
yeah, you got the booklet. Mike has it, but he only has it with the K minus the K front and the booklet, unfortunately.
So I totally forgot we did talk about freaking 13 on part 1. I totally forgot we talked about it. It's been so
We did. I don't think we did.
we didn't?
I thought we did. I didn't know we talked about it.
God, I can't remember. I think we did, but it's been so long ago.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's been a while since that.
Well, either or, my opinions of 13 aren't good to begin with, so I'd be trashing the whole entire album.
Yep. But we're talking about The Devil You Know, the Heaven and Hell album.
All right, yes. So this would be the return of Ronnie James Dio and Vinny Appice again. Oh man! So I was really happy when they got back together. Sadly, this would be the only thing they would record. They were talking about making another album, and then what happened. Unfortunately, but so we're gonna get up the tracks here. I was just playing this album like a week ago too. All right, Adam and Evil. This song is freaking killer. I remember when I heard this for the first time, I'm like, yes, Dio is back. I was just like listening to this song and like just feeling the power of Dio's voice on this track. Yeah, Adam and Evil was just fucking amazing. And this is another one of them albums too that doesn't get much love by a lot of fans for whatever reason. But anyways,
yeah, this is the weakest one. This is the weakest one with Dio, though. Pretty much.
It probably is, but I still think
comparing it to Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules, and Dehumanizer, like.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. So Fear. Oh man, Fear's a good one too. This is a heavy one. Another one that's pretty heavy, kind of goes back to more of that Dehumanizer type of vibe, just good and heavy. Oh man, but this track, I remember the first time I heard this, man, I was like, holy shit, this is good. Talking about Bible Black, the first track that was released for this album. Oh man, it's just got the classic dark, melodic feel. It's some of the best, I'd have to say this one's probably one of Dio's best vocal performances. I mean, yes, around this time he's much older, and he sounds a bit older on this album, but he still sounds damn good. So Bible Black's good. Freaking Double the Pain. This is another killer track. It's heavy. Just kick ass. I love Double the Pain. Rock and Roll Angel. This one kind of goes back to that's weird, man. This one could have been a Dio solo track, to be honest. It kind of has that vibe to it. But yeah, I kind of like it. Maybe it's because I'm thinking of a track like Rock and Roll Children or, something like that. But yeah, Rock and Roll Angel's damn good. To Turn the Screw is another damn good song. This one's pretty fast and upbeat. Or wait, no, I take that back. This one's I'm thinking of the next track. It's a little more faster and upbeat. Not the turn of the screw. This one's still, pretty damn doomy sounding. Eating the Cannibals. This one's like really fast and up tempo. Kind of like a throwback to like Neon Nights or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, everybody should know this because we have this as the Metal Bastards Hangout podcast
Oh, yeah.
intro. Follow the tears.
My favorite track on here. Jesus Christ, the song's crushing.
Yep. So
This
good
one-
we made it the intro for it for a Hangout podcast.
This song is so crushing and heavy and dark. Kind of has more of a Candlemass vibe to it. This might be the heaviest song that Dio's. This might be the heaviest track that Dio ever did. It's freaking heavy. And I love it.
That's
Let's
me
see
at the Bastards Hangout podcast. Absolutely love it. I mean, come on.
You're damn right we do.
Yeah,
That's
come
our damn
on.
theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our freaking theme song.
Yeah, mother. Yeah.
Right, anyways. Oh, yeah, Neverwhere. This one's good, too. A good rockin' tune from what I remember. Probably the only track on here I remember the least, to be honest. But geez, but man, the ending track on here, Breaking into Heaven, man. This one makes me weep a little bit because this was the last thing Dio recorded.
The last song on an album with Dio. Yeah, Breaking into Heaven. Yep. He
ended
up. He didn't break into those pearly gates. He just crushed them. And
right. So yeah, quintessentially, this could be Loneliest to Work Part 2. It definitely has that vibe and feel to it. But Jesus Christ, the song's powerful.
Yep.
So I'm going to be very controversial on what I give this album score-wise. Man. 9.6 out of 10.
Oh, we are pretty close with our scores. Yeah, obviously. Like I said, while not as perfect as their previous album, this is nowhere close to the previous three. It is a great send-off for one of the greatest vocalists of all time with Dio. This is the last thing he ever did fully. Oh, we'll get to 13 here shortly, but yeah, obviously, rest in peace, Dio. You are truly missed. I give this a 9.75 out of 10. This is, like I said, like a year or so after this. He would pass away a year after this album came out, obviously with cancer and stuff like that. And then it was around that same time, almost rumblings started happening with the original lineup. And on 11/11/11, they announced they were reuniting and recording a studio album. They also had Rick Rubin, which he does still work with. Unfortunately, also during this time, Tony Iommi announced he has cancer, which he would beat, which was awesome. Obviously, also this time, he would come back for one of the shows during this reunion run, but unfortunately, he wouldn't be on the studio album. They would get the drummer from Rage Against the Machine and Audio Slave, Brad Wilk. And on June 10th of 2013, via Vertigo, they would release what is essentially their final studio album, 13. I have it. I have it, but I ain't gonna pull it out of my freaking thing. So
yeah,
Ben, take it away.
Well, hate to end this on a bad note. And I don't know why for a minute I was thinking this came out before Heaven and Hell came out, and it didn't. What a doofus. Oh, Lord, here we go. We got to end this on a bad note, people. Because this album's going to get a ton of trashing.
Yeah.
The Sharon Osbourne Black Sabbath Project. That's what this should be called. What a hunk of shit this album is. Okay, for one, it's like they're trying to remake the first two albums all over again.
3 or 4. It's basically this is the greatest hit. That's the safest I'm gonna say. It's the greatest hits album.
End of the beginning. A poor attempt of rewriting the song Black Sabbath. what the hell's going on here? And you don't even have fucking Bill Ward in the band for this? Yeah, right there, we're already in disaster mode. God is Dead. Okay, this one is actually the only track on this album I like because it doesn't sound like a retread of the Blacks or the first couple Sabbath songs or albums. And Black Sabbath never retreaded throughout their careers, so I don't get it. Loners, just whatever, kind of a shitty song. Zeitgeist, Planet Caravan Part 2, this fucking sucks. Age of Reason, fuck this song. Live Forever, it just sounds like Ozzy don't care to be there. And that's the whole atmosphere of this album, too. Ozzy sounds like shit on this fucking album. Damaged Soul, whatever.
And
Dear
the last
Father, whatever. This album, man. Rick Rubin, Sharon Osbourne, fuck you for this album. This album gets a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm on the more of the safer, the more, I guess, friendlier side of this. I mean, yeah, it's just like you said, it's just, doing the hits, basically. It's doing what they know from the past, basically. It's like, because they want to try and get away from what they were doing after, with Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die. So it's like, I say in a way this is better than Never Say Die, but this is still near the bottom for me. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10 for me. Obviously that means you can breathe a sigh of relief knowing Never Say Die is still the worst Black Sabbath album ever. At least for me, because obviously for me that was boring. It's just like, yeah. But this is a 9.5. It's the best of. It's basically a best of. The songs on here is like, this is kind of to maybe say introduce the new fans. Like, this is what we did back in the day. It's just with a modern production, pretty much. I wouldn't say it's the worst ever, but it's like, yeah, it's still at the bottom. It's one of the worst, but it's still near the bottom. But yep, we have come. Normally, we would have this be all the part 2 ones, but because this is Black Sabbath, we're gonna rank all of them. And I know between me and Ben, there is quite a bit of years in between part 1 and part 2. But I figure because there's 20 albums, I believe, and this includes the Heaven and Hell
22,
album.
yeah.
20. Okay, so we're just gonna rank all 20 here. So number 20, I mean, everybody should probably know at this point what number 20 is for me. It is Never Say Die. So I'm pretty sure I know what your number 20 is. You just talked about it.
Number 20, 13. Fuck that album.
Yep. Number 19 for me, Technical Ecstasy.
Number 19 for me is going to be, it's going to be Never Say Die.
Yep, that's going to be at or near the bottom. What is that? Number 18, Born Again. I have that near the bottom for me. But this is where a lot of the. Okay, so apparently 7 Star is near this, so that's gonna be a 9.5 for me.
So we're at number 18, right? Okay.
Yep, number 18.
Okay. Number 18. Holy cow! 3 Aussie albums in a row.
Oh wow! Let me guess. Technical Ecstasy.
It's not that I think this album's completely bad because there's stuff on it I like, but it's got to be Technical Ecstasy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fun album. It's like, yeah. What do I got? Number 17. Oh, this might pain you even. This might pain you even more. Sabotage.
All right. So number 17 for me. Just kind of think here because I'm not like. Okay, number 17 to me is going to be Cross Proposes.
Wow, that's gonna. Well, it's not gonna hurt too much for me. Okay, where am I at? That's 8, 20, 19, 18, 17. 16, seventh star.
Number 16 is going to be. Going to go Forbidden.
Oof, yeah. That's going to be a little bit high for me. What's that? That's 20.
Hey, we might be the only
19,
ones that
17,
didn't.
16.
We might be the first ones that didn't put it near, like, completely near last place.
Yeah, well, mine is pretty high. Mine is pretty high. Here's another one that might piss you off a little bit. I have to, what's that? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Eh,
Well,
My
I'm
number,
surprised you. I'm surprised. You
eh,
did.
my number 15 is going to be. It's going to be 7-star.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's my number 15, I believe.
Yeah, my number 14, Cross Purposes.
Boy, number 14 is going to be. It's starting to get a little hard at this point. So my number 14, I believe it's going to be. I'm trying. You know what? Hate to do this, but wow, this is kind of tough. I'm gonna have, man. I know I gave this a fairly decent score. Just the one song bugs me a little. I'm gonna go with Tear.
Oh. Yeah, we're at 14, right? Number 13 now, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't even need to say the name. It's at its appropriate number for me. Number 13 is 13.
Wow, this is where it gets like really freaking hard to rank these.
Yeah, oh yeah, it does. These are all great.
Okay,
Hell,
number
sometimes
13. So we're at number 13, right? Okay.
Yep, number 13.
Number 13 for me, and it's only because I don't own it anymore. The Eternal Idol.
Oh God, no! Oh, that's gonna hurt me. Oh, that's gonna hurt me. Oh, this may hurt you even more. Number 12, the self-titled debut.
Not
Not
really.
really? Not really? Well, okay.
That one actually dropped a little bit for me.
Oh, wow.
Even though I like it, don't get me wrong. So
Yeah.
we're at number 12, right?
Yep, number 12.
Ironically, I'm going to have to go with the debut.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, well, we agree on number 12. Number 11, I don't know if it, I feel like this might pain you because this is not even in the top 10. Number 11, Paranoid.
That's funny.
Wait, no way! Are we the same on that too?
Shit, I don't even know where my copy of Paranoid. Yeah, number 11 is Paranoid. I don't know what I did.
Wow, that is, I'm surprised.
I know that's controversial. Only because it suffers from burnout. To me, that's why it's so low.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Number 10, Master of Reality.
Ooh, I thought you'd have that one higher.
I mean, it's still in the top 10.
Number 10 for me is going to be. Yeah, this is getting kind of tough. So number 10 for me is going to be. I'm going to have to go with The Devil You Know, I think.
Oh, wow. I have that a little
Even though I really like this one.
I have that a little bit higher. Number 9, Volume 4. This is the highest of the classic albums. The first 8, pretty much.
Damn, number 9 for me is probably going to be. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Dehumanizer for number 9.
Okay. Number 8, Forbidden. I would pretty sure I'm the only, and this is the 2024 version, mind you. I would probably wager the original might be a little bit lower, but the new one is a top 10 Sabbath album for me. So yeah, number 8, Forbidden.
Number 8 for me is going to be. Man, this is getting tough. I'm trying to think. Is there. be with you here in a minute. I'm just trying to check something. Okay,
Fair
so
enough.
I feel like did I say cross purposes anywhere?
I feel
I
like
think.
you did. I think I said crop purposes at 14.
All right, yes, and okay. I'm just trying to figure out here. All right, number 8 for me is going to be. Oh, never mind. Okay, number 8 for me is going to be Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Dang. Okay. Number 7, The Devil You Know.
Number 7 for me is going to be. All right, I think I got it. I believe it's going to be Master of Reality for 7.
Okay. Number 6, Headless Cross.
Number 6 for me is going to be. So I'm just looking through the ones I got here left. I think I said Headless Cross too.
I don't think you have. As far as I'm aware. I mean, there is a lot about this.
Never mind. I got it figured out. No wonder, because I have one of them on vinyl. My fault. Now, okay, I got it figured out now.
Oh, yeah, I'd be bored again, yeah.
At least I think I do. All right, so number 6. I think I'm going to go with. Okay, I said all these. Now, for some reason, I'm coming up one short.
Ooh.
Number 6. Okay. Let me freaking see. I got 5 here, but I'm missing an album.
What album?
Fuck, I can't figure out which one I'm missing. Okay, I said 13. Forbidden, I said Humanizer.
Never Say Die and Technical Ecstasy are at the bottom. With
Yeah.
13.
Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Master of Reality. I can't figure out which one I'm missing. I feel like I forgot.
Mike said Eternal Idol.
Oh, that's the one I didn't fucking mention, I think. Or no, I did mention you. No, it's Cross Purposes. That one should be ranked lower. That's the one I think I forgot to mention. So, oh crap. So that one, fuck. I don't
Where
even
did
know. This whole ranking's fucked up now.
Oh boy.
So much easier when you own everything.
Yeah.
No, either we're Cross Purposes is like number 17. Okay, so
that would be matching with that. And then
all right, so
be?
we're gonna make it. Fuck. So number 6, I'm gonna put. Oh Christ.
That would move Headless Cross up to number 5 in some way.
So we're at number 6, right?
Yeah, we're at number 6. Unless you wanna.
Oh, you know what? I think Headless Cross is the one I forgot to say. All right, okay. Headless Cross number 6.
My number 5 is Heaven and Hell.
Okay, so now we're at the top 5. Okay. Number 5 to me is going to be probably, man, I used to have this one ranked a little higher, but I think we're going to be tied on number 5, Heaven and Hell.
Yep. Number 4, the mob rules. That's number 4.
Number 4 is going to be the mob
The mob
rule.
rules. So, my number 3, the Eternal Idol.
Well, my number 3 is controversial. Wait,
Oh wait. Oh my God.
this is going to be really fucking controversial. Number 3 for me is going to be Volume 4.
I would argue that would be. I figured that would be your high. That's your highest of all the classics, correct?
No, I still have one.
Oh
more.
wait, you have one. Oh wow. Okay, number 2, Dehumanizer.
Well, here's your controversial opinion.
Born
Born
Again
Again, number 2.
Oh, I think mine is going to be more. I don't know my number 1. My number 1 tier.
My number 1, Sabotage.
Oh wow! I feel as soon as you heard me say Sabotage at number 17, I knew that pained you because I was like, oh, that's gonna be high. That's gonna be high for you.
Yep.
Oh wow. Yeah, but obviously you can tell we're all.
And if there is a mistake in that top list, I kind of apologize. I kind of got freaking mixed up a little bit. But anyways, we got it, I believe.
Yeah, apologies for that. Yeah. I don't know. You got anything promote? I know you got a stream tomorrow. I probably will be there.
So tomorrow night on the channel at 10 o'clock, I'm doing a live stream, just a hangout stream, really.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's a very special hangout stream because if memory serves me right, I think you're gonna have the guy from Warhammer and Shredder going to be on. There may be others from Fomorian. Obviously, you're with Fomorian, but I know I'll be there. So
we're gonna have Lee from Warhammer coming on, Shredbeard coming on, and pretty much anybody who wants to come on can really come on.
Yep.
So that's tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Just a fun, chill hangout stream. That's really all it is.
Yep. But I'm so glad we were able to finally after so many delays with this. Obviously, the first time we tried to do this was last year. I'm glad we were able. It took only a year, but we're like, we beat you, Brody. We beat you for Black Sabbath Part 2. I wish we could have gone Ralph, but it is what it is. But yeah. Obviously, there's going to be some stuff coming from the channel in June, I think, for me. Obviously, I will be at that stream. Obviously, we got some stuff with PCB, or should I say Cryo Flame Audio Force. That's actually a cool name. In June will be his full-on reaction or discography reaction to Conflict. Obviously, my Attack Rocco is coming in June. I think next week. Shit, that's almost in a week. Fuck. But that is happening. But yeah,
and we got plenty of other cool stuff coming for you people. Probably an original Metal Bastards hangout stream. Probably this upcoming weekend. So either Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, we did say we were going to have an intro for this. It was supposed to be the one that we used for the Metal Bastards Hangout podcast intro, which was that had an actual Sabbath song. Follow the Tears, pretty much. We were unfortunately, he tried to get it and stuff, but we weren't able to get it on here. But it would have fit so perfectly with this because it is a Sabbath song. But unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. But there will not be a deep dive for the rest of this month. In fact, it won't be until July because the next one that it happens in July, it'll be me and him, and I'll also be listening to them all. It's Scorpions, baby.
Scorpions, people. That's right.
Basically,
We
I
do
think
that.
part one is going to basically mirror what Jeff and those did when they did Scorpions, which is just the 70s stuff all the way to Savage Amusement. We're doing it in 2 parts. We're including everything from Scorpions.
Yep. Even that such a great album called Eye to Eye, man. Oh man.
Yeah, we're going to include it. Yep, we're going to talk about it. Yes, we are.
Yep, Uncle Verdi's favorite Scorpions album.
But yes, unfortunately, we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about everything from 90s and onwards. So that's crap. I forgot what 1990 was. Crazy New World, I think it was called. I can't remember what it. Crazy New World all the way to Rock. Crazy New World all the way to Rock Believer, pretty much.
Yep.
We're including everything basically. So that is in July. So maybe fingers crossed. So hopefully at that time, fingers crossed, I might be in a new location. I'm giving you a teaser, maybe. But until then, we will see you. We will see you later. And as always, keep being metal. We will see y'all later.
Later.